Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Beyond the Briefcase. I welcome you all to the third episode of Constitution of India. So, if you check my playlist, I've already uploaded two videos with regard to Constitution of India. In those two episodes, we discuss the basics of Constitution of India, how the democracy of India works, and what are the essential pillars of democracy. So, today we'll be discussing Parliament, High Court, Supreme Court, and Election Commission, and why this institutions plays a very crucial role in Indian democracy, and why it is very relevant to understand the concepts of all these prominent institutions. So, in this particular presentation, I'll be providing you a comprehensive overview of the Indian Parliament. We'll also be covering the structure, features of judicial system, and the key articles and landmark case laws and the recent development as well. So as you know that recently we built a new Parliament House, and I think the old Parliament building had the capacity of 550 plus members, but the new Parliament building has a capacity of 800 plus members. So if we talk about Lok Sabha, the lower house, the people's house, we call it as a people's house. The composition is 550 members represent all states and UT. They sit together in Lok Sabha, and Article 81 talks about Lok Sabha. So this article, specifically talks about the structure of the Lok Sabha. Direct elections occur by adult suffrage as per Article 326 of Constitution. Adult suffrage, as you know, that if you attain age of 18, then you can vote for any election. Once you apply for the voter ID, and then you get your authentic voter ID, and then you apply for the election. The term lasts for 5 years, but it's subject to dissolution of the cabinet. So again, the concept of no confidence motion comes into play, and by writing a letter, and when you submit it to the speaker, they can dissolve the assembly if the ruling party doesn't have the majority, right? And when we talk about Rajya Sabha, the Council of States, the composition is the maximum 250 members and 238 from state UTs and 12 nominated by the president. So all these members who are being nominated by the president, they are those people. They might have done something good for society, or they are holding good designation. For example, Sudha Murthy, you must be knowing, Sudha Murthy was nominated by the president only, and uh, she is the wife of the person who created the Infosys, right? So that's how the people president can offer that particular nomination to those people. Article 80 specifically talks about composition and presidential nominations. Indirect elections occur by state and legislative assemblies, and the term, so it's a permanent body, and one third of the members retire every 2 years as per Article 83. So these two articles you'll have to remember. It is very crucial when it comes to Rajya Sabha. Now, legislative powers. Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. First, money bills. This can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha as per Article 1110. Then we have ordinary bills. So it can originate in either House of Parliament, and joint sitting Article 108 addresses disagreements between the houses. Supremacy, the Lok Sabha overrides Rajya Sabha in money matters. So when it comes to the money matters, the supremacy of Lok Sabha is much more higher than the Rajya Sabha. Financial powers and control. Budget approval, the Lok Sabha has exclusive power under Article 112, and control over finances. So this is maintained through committees like PAC, and Rajya Sabha rules. It can discuss but not vote on demands from grants. So yeah, in various issues, when you compare Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha definitely has an upper edge, and that's how it works. Judicial system, structure and hierarchy. So the Supreme Court, as we all know, that Supreme Court is a apex court in India, and it is established by Article 124. And then we do have high courts, so this operate at the state level as per Article 214. Then we also have subordinate courts, includes district and other lower courts. Then we have integrated system. A single hierarchy of courts ensures consistency. So basically, this is the hierarchy of the courts. As you all know that if any judgment passed by the Supreme Court, that any judgment that we consider it as a landmark precedent, and it is being followed by all the superior subordinate courts. Also, any order passed by the Supreme Court to central government, the central government has to obey the order as well, right? So that is a process how they work. Now, Supreme Court power and jurisdiction. So when we talk about the powers and jurisdiction of Supreme Court, as we all know how powerful Supreme Court is, and they have a original jurisdiction. It handles disputes between states and the or the center as per Article 131. So recently there was a case, state of Tamil Nadu versus state of governor. As you know that the bills, the governor was not giving accent on those bills, and the ultimately the state of Tamil Nadu, they approached the Honorable Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court gave the judgment on the behalf of state of Tamil Nadu, right? And that is a very significant judgment. I would say it is a landmark judgment because the Honorable Supreme Court also gave 3 months to President to consider those bills. So yeah, and various people, member of Parliament, they criticize the Supreme Court. They even said that we should all close the Parliament because Supreme Court is doing overreaching, judicial overreach. So those people, they mentioned that concept as well. Now, when it comes to appellate jurisdiction, here's appeals from high courts per Article 132. And we also have writ jurisdiction enforces fundamental rights as per Article 32. So you must be knowing that when we want to file PIL in Supreme Court and when we want to file PIL in High Court, Article 30 talks about PIL in Supreme Court and Article 226 talks about PIL in High Court, right? And we also have advisory jurisdiction. So basically, the Supreme Court offers advice on presidential references. Now, fundamental rights and judicial review. Article 13 talks about the state laws conflicting with fundamental rights are void. Judicial reviews, it examines legislative, executive actions, and Keshavan Bharti was the state of Kerala is a very, I would say, the number one landmark case law in the history of India because it established the basic structure doctrine, and 13 benches judgment it is. Now, what is PIL? Now, when we talk about the expansion of PIL, any citizen can approach the court, right? And the objective is to justice for marginalized sections. And when we talk about PIL, the important landmark case law is SP Gupta versus Union of India 1981. This case laid groundwork for PIL, so that's why this case is very important. Key features and recent developments: independence of judiciary, essential for democracy as per Article 50. Judicial activism. Courts are playing a very proactive role. That is, see, judicial activism is very important if we want to have a healthy democracy. Sometimes, executive and legislature tries to extend their legs and arms. They try to rule, and that's where the Supreme Court plays a very important role. Challenges: case backlogs and infrastructure issues persist. So yes, we have a lot of pending cases, around 3 to 4 CR cases. We don't have proper infrastructure as of now. Case backlogs has been very important issue for us. And when we talk about recent developments, e-courts and virtual hearings are emerging. And that thing we are seeing since Corona, that how all the high courts are streaming their proceedings, and even Supreme Court has started streaming their own proceedings. Now, Supreme Court composition. So, Supreme Court includes the Chief Justice of India, a maximum of 34 judges appointed by the President of India as per Article 124. And the eligibility, to become Supreme Court judges, the person should be a citizen of India, and he should be a judge of High Court for 5 years or advocate for 10 years, and the retirement age is 65 years. So, our upcoming current CJ of India would be B.R. Gawai, as you know. The President has already given the accent. Supreme Court jurisdiction, original jurisdiction, Article 131 deals with disputes between states we discussed earlier. Now, coming to the High Court composition. So, in High Court judges, each High Court has a Chief Justice, we all know, and other judges as determined by President, Article 216. So, Article 216 becomes very important with regard to High Court. Appointment. Judges are appointed by the president in consultation with the Chief Justice of India and the governor. Eligibility. To be eligible, one must be citizen of India, have held a judicial office for 10 years, or have been an advocate High Court for 10 years. High Court jurisdiction. Original deals with writ petitions, admiralty, company, and election disputes. Appellant handles appeals from subordinate courts in civil criminal cases. Article 226 enforces fundamental rights and other legal rights. Supervisory oversees all subordinate courts and tribunals within jurisdiction. Article 227. So now those articles becomes very important when we see the tribunals and the high courts also. Election commission composition. Election commission commissioners, this includes a chief election commissioner and two election commissioners, as per article 324. Amended, please remember all these articles because these articles play a very crucial role, right? Also appointment, it is appointed by the president of India. Independent. So it is independent constitutional authority in ensuring free and free elections. Because for a healthy democracy, election should be very, should be unbiased election. Then only we can run the whole institutions and run a country in a proper manner. The tenure is 6 years or until the age of 62. That is the retirement age. Election commissioner's power. So the first power is the direction control of elections to parliament and state legislatures. They have the whole power to conduct the elections in what manner, right? So supervision becomes a very important role. Electoral rolls, preparation of electoral rolls, voter registration, delimitation of constituencies, polling, setting up polling booths and appointment of polling officers, enforcement of the model code of conduct. Electoral reforms, EVMs, VVPAT, Aadhaar criminalization. So this reforms include the introduction of electronic voting machine, also called as EVMs. Then we also have voter verified paper audit trial. VVPAT enhances transparency. Aadhaar linking with voter ID aids authentication and criminalization of electoral malpractices as per Article 171 of the IPC. RTI and PIL. So RTI transparency and PIL public cause. The RTA Act 2005 empowers citizens to seek information. PIL allows approaching the courts for public cause, and this promote transparency, accountability, and good governance. See, PIL plays a very crucial role in the society because let's say something is happening and you're not okay with that, and that particular thing is harming the safety of citizens, or that particular thing is harming the, I would say, harming the public. Then you can apply, then you can go ahead with the PIL, and the court can order the subordinate authorities to stop that thing with immediate effect. So that's why PIL becomes very important in those cases. Strengthening governance, vital reforms and participation. The Supreme Court, High Courts, Election Commission, RTI, PIL are vital. Continuous reforms are needed, and citizens' participation is also very crucial. So I hope you have understood the concepts of Parliament, Supreme Court, High Court, and how they function accordingly, and why their role becomes very important. So do share this video with your friends. Stay tuned for more videos. Do subscribe my channel. Do like it if you're liking the videos. And thank you so much for watching my videos, people. Take care. Bye bye.